Hey guys. Welcome back. This is the story about what if Naruto was Gilgamesh's brother. Before we start, you know the drill, like, share and sub, this really supports the channel guys. Let's begin. Everyone in the Sumerian Shinto pantheon was currently resting and enjoying the peace that they worked hard for. Gilgamesh, 𝐾𝐸 and Amaterasu were even talking to other faction leaders to discuss peace and alliances so that no one has to worry about another great war happening that would destroy the planet. Currently everyone was in the throne room talking and joking about things happily as they all finally had a day off as they have been really busy the past few days. I still can't believe you wanted to fight a person with the power of a primordial. If that wasn't so bad you decided that you wanted to kill the big boss just because you were getting bored. Maybe I should teach you to be a team player and allow other people to help. 𝐸𝐴Z𝐵 said, exasperated, making Naruto snicker a bit but stopped when he received a glare from his other girlfriends. But Gilgamesh, 𝐾𝐸, coughed out, making Sindri give him the same glare, making him shut up, and got a smirk from Naruto. The group then continued to enjoy themselves with talking to each other and making fun of Ishtar. However, out of nowhere an old man with red eyes appeared in the middle of the room, but before anyone could attack, both Naruto and Gilgamesh raised their hands to stop them. What can we do for you, 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐿? Naruto asked politely, shocking all the gods in the room as they now knew who this person was. You mean to tell us that this is the dimension traveler 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵? Amaterasu asked Naruto, who nodded his head. I need a favor, 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵 spoke, making everyone in the room listen to the conversation. And what would that favor be? Gilgamesh, 𝐾𝐸, asked, interested in what the dimension traveler wanted from them. I need one of you, he said, pointing at Gilgamesh, 𝐾𝐸 and Naruto, to come to my dimension as recently humanity has been incinerated from their roots of their past. There has been someone or thing has been changing the timeline where different events happen, for example Camelot never fell, or the disappearance of a certain king after he lost his best friend. Once 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵 stopped speaking, everyone in the room was quiet as they understood how serious the situation is, because if something was strong enough to change history, then it would be a major threat. Naruto and Gilgamesh, 𝐾𝐸, look at each other. If what I understand is correct and what you are asking is that you want either myself or Gilgamesh to replace the missing Gilgamesh from your world and make sure that the singularity is fixed. Naruto asked the old man and received a nod. That is correct, however there are people trying to fix the problem called Chaldea security organization that protect the human order with the help of servants. However, the problem is that they won't arrive in time to fix the problem. So that is why I asked for your help, 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵 said to the people in the room. Naruto and Gilgamesh, 𝐾𝐸, were looking at each other in the eyes like they were talking about what to do and who would do it. I'll go, my brother has important duties to do here and I'm the only one free to do the task you asked, Naruto said, shocking everyone in the room. You cannot be serious, Naruto, we need you here, Artoria yelled out, making the other women nodded their heads in agreement with her. She right. They're not our people, Amaterasu said, in agreement with the other woman, trying to persuade Naruto not to go. I have to, it is my duty as the brother of Gilgamesh and one of the people closest to being a god. I must make sure that humanity survives into the next era, Naruto said to the girls, making them tear up a bit. Then be safe and come back to us, 𝐸𝐴Z𝐵 said with a tear-stained smile, making Naruto simile back at her and the other women. Naruto then walked over to 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵, who opened a portal to his dimension, and the both of them walked through the portal with Naruto waving goodbye. Ancient Uruk. Naruto and 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵 appeared in the throne room of Uruk, out of now where putting the guard on edge and went face the intruder, however stopped when they saw Naruto as they thought he was Gilgamesh. Your Majesty, everyone in the room bowed to Naruto, who only sighed and walked to the throne that was in the middle of the room. I am not Gilgamesh, I am his younger brother, and while he is not here, I would replace him if you wish to question my claim here, Naruto said as he made a gate open next to him to show that he was related to Gilgamesh. As for my name, it is Naruto, and I will be the new king of Uruk while he is not here. Now present to me all of your queries and problems and I will try to fix them, Naruto commanded as he looked at everyone in the room, who bowed again and then looked at 𝐤𝐢𝐴Z𝐵 and nodded his head and watched him go back into the portal. Let's see if I'm a better ruler than my brother, Naruto thought to himself as he started to listen to other people's problems and gave them the solutions to fix them. Okay everyone, thank you for your support in this hard time, however I have foresaw something that could mean the end of humanity, so I will need to constant support in those times, as if we fail, it will mean the end of everything that humanity is. Naruto stood up from the throne with his charisma on full as he spoke to the people in the room, shocking them. However, they didn't show any signs for retreating for cowering way. We will do our best, your Majesty. Everyone yelled in the room, making Naruto smile and sit back down on the throne. That is good, and all that I ask of you to do your best and put your faith in me to help us in our hard time, Naruto said, and then went back to reading reports from around Uruk. 3 months later. This is so boring, how can my brother sit on this throne all day and not die of boredom, Naruto thought to himself as he finished the daily paperwork because of the attack on the people of Uruk and those outside its borders. Naruto was about to take a nap, however a guard came running into the throne room panting and looked tired. "Your Majesty, we have a problem. The goddesses 𝐸𝐴, 𝐸𝐴 and 𝐸𝐴 have formed an alliance called the Three Goddess Alliance," the Sada reported, shocking everyone in the room about the people who were threatening Uruk. However, no one noticed the strained face of Naruto. "Damn it, 𝐸𝐴. What are you doing joining you with those two?" Naruto thought to himself as he felt his heart stop when he heard her name. "I guess I don't have another choice than that to get our own allies," Naruto spoke out loud, catching everyone's attention. "How? Your Majesty?" Sindri asked her king, who looked at her and smiled and then opened a gate and out dropped a golden cup. "By using the Holy Grail, I will summon our own allies to protect and defend Uruk from these goddesses and their forces," Naruto continued to speak out loud, making everyone in the throne room cheer for their king. Naruto walked to the middle of the room and poured his magical energy into the cup, and then there was a bright light that when it died down, it revealed a man with white hair, pink ornaments in his hair. He also wears a robe woven with the finest looking fabrics, however the man still looks modest. "Oh, what a surprise, I didn't think could be summoned, given how I'm not dead yet," the man said out loud, making the people in the room look at him. "That would be because you haven't been born yet, Merlin, so technically you're dead," Naruto told the strange man that he summoned. "Oh, and who might you be?" Merlin asked Naruto, as he had never seen or met this person before. "I'm Naruto, the brother of Gilgamesh and his replacement as king of Uruk while he is missing, and I have summoned you here because we have a massive problem. Humanity's natural history has been changed by the Holy Grail and other outside forces that have caused humanity to go extinct." Naruto explained the situation to Merlin, who nodded his head. "I see, that is a big problem indeed, so do you have a plan to fix this problem?" Merlin asked Naruto, who then lifted the grail. "Yes, I do. I will summon more servants and then incarnate them to help protect Uruk for a while, as I have foreseen help arriving in the future from a group who fix these problems," Naruto told the wizard, who nodded his head in agreement. "However, before I start, Merlin, there is a threat that must be prevented at any cost, and the best way to do that is with your magecraft that interferes with dreams," Naruto told 𝐸𝐴, who didn't need to be told any more information of the threat, as he had already saw what the threat is and what it is with his clairvoyance. "Yes, she will indeed be a problem in the future," Merlin said, and used his magecraft to put the threat to sleep. Naruto then walked to the middle of the room again and poured more magical energy into the grail. This time, instead of one bright glow, there was 7, and once those lights down, everyone could see 3 female and 4 males standing there. "I am the ruler servant 𝐸𝐴, one of the men introduced themselves. "I am the rider class servant 𝐸𝐴, one of the women introduced themselves. "I am the lancer class servant 𝐸𝐴, another of the men introduced themselves. "I am Leonidas of Sparta, a lancer type servant, another of the men introduced themselves. "I am 𝐸𝐴, and I am an assassin type servant, the last of the men introduced themselves. "I am 𝐵𝐴 of the berserker class, the childlike servant introduced themselves. "I am 𝐸𝐴 of the archer class, the final woman introduced themselves. "I ask of you, are you my master?" all of the newly summoned servants asked at once. "No, I am not your master. I was the one who summoned you, however I used my vast magical energy to incarnate you and give you real bodies, so you must eat and drink to keep your strength. The reason why I have summoned you is because a threat to humanity has made itself known, and I need strong allies to protect the remnants of humanity in my kingdom," Naruto said to all of the people present, making them go wide-eyed. "So where are we? And who are you?" 𝐸𝐴 asked the person who summoned them. "My name is Naruto, and I am the brother of Gilgamesh, and you are currently in the first human kingdom. Currently Gilgamesh is missing, and I am here in his place. The threat we will be face is the Three Goddess Alliance that shouldn't exist in this time. That is why I summoned you," Naruto told the heroes in the room. "So, we are basically normal people again?" Leonidas asked Naruto, who nodded his head. "That is correct, you need to eat and sleep to continue to live. Don't worry, everything will be provided here in Uruk as long as you stay and protect the people here," Naruto told everyone in the room, making them nod their heads. "So, what is the plan? How are we going to win against this threat to humanity?" 𝐸𝐴 asked his summoner. "I need 𝐸𝐴, 𝐸𝐴, 𝐸𝐴 and 𝐫𝐸 on the northern front, as that will be where the enemy will be forced to attack. I need Leonidas to train the Sodders so that they can defend the wall with those told beforehand. I also need 𝐸𝐴 to go around the city and listen to the people's rumors, and finally 𝐵𝐴, I need you to stay behind the northern wall and be our secret weapon," Naruto told everyone present. However, they heard coughing coming from Sindri. "We don't have a northern wall," Sindri said, trying to point out the obvious to her kings, who only smirked. "That is why I am going to melt down Gilgamesh's Babylon and use it to build the wall, and then I am going to build magical dingers to shoot magical bombardment that will be his treasures that he collected and use them to protect the people," Naruto announced to everyone in the room, making those from Uruk gasp. "What is Babylon?" Tomo goes in? Asked Naruto. It is Gilgamesh's vault where he keeps all of the treasures that he has collected. In other words, the biggest museum in the world filled with all of humanity collective worth. Naruto told the people who didn't know, shocking them, that one person was able to collect so much during his lifetime. And you're going to destroy it to build a wall? Can you even do that? 𝐫𝐞𝐽 asked, making Naruto laugh. You bet I'm going to build that wall, and normally I wouldn't be able to access Gilgamesh's Babylon. However, since this is an emergency and his people are in need and he is missing, I'm just going to have to brute force my way through, Naruto said as he walked away from the servants and next to wall and cracked his fingers and opened a gate. However, instead of anything coming out, Naruto put his hands on the sides of the gate and started to push the gate open to the shock of everyone. After a while, Naruto managed to forcefully open the gate to act as a portal to Gilgamesh's Babylon, and when everyone looked inside, they saw a massive golden gate in what looks like a place that was somewhere underground. Welcome to the physical gate that holds all the world's treasures, where the only person who knows its location is Gilgamesh, Naruto said as he and the servants walked through the gate onto the other side. So, on the other side of that gate is all the world's treasures and enough gems to make any family wealth till the end of days, 𝐸𝐸𝐴 said out loud in awe of what she was seeing. That is correct. Now on to the next problem. Getting in as my key won't work with Gilgamesh's door. However, that is a simple fix. Naruto opened a gate above them and it shot out 𝐸𝐸𝐴, breaking the gates and leaving the servants shocked at the massive sword and what they saw inside, as inside the gate was treasures everywhere the eye could see with no end in sight. Now then, time to start building, Naruto thought to himself as he walked through the broken doors. 3 months later, Naruto managed to keep his promise of making the northern wall that went from one mountain range to another, blocking any access from the north, and managed to do it in 3 weeks due to hard work and help from the servants. Naruto even made the dangers on top of the wall and added Gilgamesh's bladed weapons into them. However, to allow the normal people to use them, he gave them sapphires filled with magical energy to break to power the dangers. But Chaldea, Ritsuka, Fujimaru and Mash were in the control room of Chaldea after receiving a message to meet there as they had found the next singularity that was threatening the human order. So far, they managed to solve 6 other and fix human history. We are finally down to the last singularity that we need to fix in order for us to fight Solomon. Drive, Roman said to the 2 other people in front of him. The lost year 2017 is fast approaching, no matter the cost. Ritsuka began to talk. However, Mash finished his sentence. We must eradicate the cause of the incineration of humanity. You're right, that is the goal of Grand Order. Orleans, Septim, Aquinos, London, American continent and finally Camelot. We have made all sorts of journeys and come this far. Dr. Roman told the master and his servant, making them nod their heads. So where is the next singularity, Dr. Roman? Ritsuka asked the friendly doctor that was the current head of the Chaldea security organization. We have gotten a reading from Mesopotamia 2655 BC during the time of Gilgamesh and Uruk, so that is where you will be ray-shifted next, Dr. Roman told the master and demi-servant of Chaldea, who nodded their heads to show that they understood what they need to do. Once both Ritsuka and Mash received the mission report, they moved into the coffins so that they can use ray-shift so that they can project themselves into the past. Mesopotamia. Ritsuka and Mash wake up from the ray shift to find themselves falling from the sky. However, before they could hit the ground, Mash summoned Lord Camelot to protect them from the fall. Once they got their bearings, they looked around and saw a rocky landscape that is destroyed buildings everywhere. The ray shift was a success, right? Ritsuka said as he looked around the area to see rundown houses and other destroyed buildings. I thought we transported them to the biggest city in the era, Dr. Roman said as he looked at the monitor, the 2's location. I see, Da Vinci said as she nodded her head as she looked at one of the monitors in the room. What just happened was a forced deportation caused by a bounded field, probably to ward off attacks, Da Vinci reported to Dr. Roman. There is no doubt that some sort of danger is or has attacked Uruk, please be. However, the device on Ritsuka's wrist stopped working. We lost connection, Ritsuka said to Mash, making the look around. However, Mash looks upwards to see the band of light that has been common in all of the singularities. For no, we need to look around, Mash said to her master, making him nod his head and start walking, however paused when they heard Fu cry out and nudge Mash in a direction, making them look to see a lion with giant teeth. Mash was quickly able to fight the demonic beasts and they started to observe them. However, they didn't know what type they were or where they came from. The 2 of them were then hit by a woman that refused to introduce herself and was looking for something. She was also able to take out multiple of the demonic beast with trying, and when the group was surrounded again, she quickly flew off, leaving them to face the demonic beasts alone. Ritsuka and Mash were quickly saved by a person with green hair and purple eyes that was able to kill the demonic beasts with chains. When he was finished killing all of the beasts, he introduced himself as 𝐸𝐸𝐴. After a while of talking, 𝐸𝐸𝐴 offered the team from Chaldea protection on their journey to Uruk. During the walk to Uruk, Enkidu explained the situation with Mesopotamia and how three goddesses have formed an alliance with each other to cause the end of humanity. Enkidu then went on to how he knew of Chaldea and their mission to fix the singularities that threaten the human order. The group then walked some more, and when they finally stopped, they were on a massive cliff, showing the last remnants of humanity protected by a massive wall besieged by demonic beasts and how humanity was facing off against them. After some more walking, Enkidu was taking the Chaldea team through a thick forest. "Oh my. I didn't know that," a person said out loud. The group turned around to see a man and a girl walking towards them slowly to show they didn't mean any harm. "Sorry to scare you. I'm not an enemy, so please hear me out." The man finished speaking, however everyone was still on guard for an attack. "As you can see, we didn't know our way through these trails and got lost. I didn't expect to see humans in the territory of the goddess of demonic beasts." The man explained his and the girl's circumstances, making everyone relax. "That is unfortunate. We're heading to Uruk. Do you want to come with us?" Enkidu asked the man and the girl. "Of course. That would be a great help to us. Some strange fate must have brought us together. Can you tell us your names?" The man said happily and then politely asked a question. "I'm Ritsuka Fujimura." Ritsuka introduced himself first to the man and girl. "My name is Mash Kirilight, and over there is Enkidu." Mash introduced herself and then looked at Enkidu. "Enkidu?" The man hummed to himself and then put his hand to his chin. "That is a problem. A big problem." The man continued to speak to himself in thought. "Why?" Enkidu asked the man, confused. "Because King Gilgamesh, who has gone missing, was said to have gone on the quest for immortality and has yet to be found," the man said as he started to walk around the area with his hand still on his chin. "What does that mean?" Ritsuka was about to ask a question, however he was cut off by Mash. "Wait. If so, it doesn't make any sense," Mash said out loud. "He didn't set out on that quest until after the death of his friend, Enkidu." The man continued to walk a little bit more before slamming his staff on the floor, "And since the king has gone missing during the quest, it means Enkidu should have been dead a long time ago," Merlin said, making everyone turn to face Enkidu and had to block a sudden attack from him. After a brief fight, Merlin used his illusions to help the group retreat and get to a safe distance from Enkidu. After a brief introduction where the man introduces himself as Merlin and the girl as Anna, and after Dr. Roman freaked out about how Merlin was summoned and explanation on Merlin's clairvoyance, Merlin then went on to explain how he was able to be summoned during the age of Mesopotamia. Merlin then guided the group to Uruk and went on to explain how Uruk was the last bastion of humanity and most of humanity fled to Uruk for protection, and how the king of Uruk built a massive fortress called the demonic beast front Babylonia. After some more walking, the group managed to arrive at Uruk, where Merlin took the group to meet the king of Uruk. When they went into the ziggurat, they saw a man sitting on the throne talking and ordering the people in front of them. "Who is that? He looks busy," Ritsuka said to himself with a look of surprise. "That would be King Naruto, the brother to Gilgamesh," Merlin told the two, who were shocked to hear about Gilgamesh having a brother. "He looks really busy, but we need to talk to him," Ritsuka said out loud, making Merlin smile and grab Ritsuka's hand. "You're right, and there is no point in waiting for the king," Merlin said as he walked into the middle of the room, dragging Ritsuka along with him. "King Naruto, I Merlin the Great Mage have returned, and I have brought guest. Are you busy?" "Well, I can see that you are, so don't worry," Merlin said out loud, catching everyone's attention. "Merlin," Ritsuka whispered to the man in panic. When Naruto heard them, he lifted his head from the clay tablet from his hand and looked at Ritsuka, making him gulp. "So, you have returned, Merlin the Mage. Welcome back to these halls. The king is happy to see you. Did you find it? Did you find the Tablet of Destines?" Sindri asked the mage. "No, I didn't have any luck this time either. It is not in the western forest." "Oh well. If only you could remember where you left them. That would save me a whole lot of trouble," Merlin told the king. "Hold your tongue and know your place, mage. Now then, who are these people? They don't look like Uruk." Sindri asked the mage. "Stop. I understand the situation here. Stand aside," Sindri Naruto said as he stood up from his throne. "King Naruto. Please wait," Sindri said in worry. "No, I won't. I'm about to cause some chaos in here, so leave me to it. My time is too precious to sit back and listen to their story, and thus to examine your authenticity, I will test your resolve in battle. Now prepare yourselves, mages of the observatory," Naruto said as he summoned a stone tablet into his hand, putting the Chaldeans on edge. "You're boring," Naruto said as he walked over to his throne and sat back down. "Come back when you know how to fight." Naruto finished his sentence. "King Naruto, are these not the people that you were expecting?" Sindri asked Naruto as she had heard their discussion on waiting for support. "Well, they were brought here by Merlin, so most likely they are," Naruto told her. "King Naruto, please just hear us out." Ritsuka was about to explain the reason why they were there, but was interrupted by Naruto. "There is no need. you must learn that I am capable of all things and so also possess all knowledge as well, and I am quite aware of what you and Chaldea are after Naruto told them, shocking them at what he just said. Then that is all the more reason to hear us out. If we don't receive the Holy Grail from the era, then humanity is finished. We have to hurry up, and Ritsuka began to explain their need to collect all of the Holy Grails, however went quiet when a golden ripple appeared next to Naruto and the Holy Grail came out and allowing Naruto to grab it. Is something wrong? You said you were looking for the Holy Grail, Naruto said with a smirk, and he looked at the Holy Grail. Is that the Holy Grail? But how do you have it? Mash said in shock of what she was seeing. I own every treasure in the world, so of course I would also own the Holy Grail, and if I'm telling the truth, it is probably the reason why the three goddesses are attacking Uruk, Naruto said as he put the Holy Grail back into his gate. Then that means Ritsuka began to say, however he was interrupted by Naruto. No, you will not be getting the Holy Grail. At least not yet. You see, my people are under constant attack daily and I can only do so much. That is why you Ritsuka Fujimaru will help me. You do that for me and I will give you the Holy Grail as thanks for your help. Naruto told the last master of humanity, making the boy nod his head. So, what is it you need us to do? Ritsuka asked Naruto, making him smile and nod his head. Very good, what I need you to do is very simple. I need you to go find Ishtar and ask her for help. She might be a useless goddess, however she has something that will help the people of Uruk tremendously, Naruto told the boy who looked confused. But how will we convince her to help? Mash asked. Instead of answering the question, he opened a gate and a bunch of gems and jewels fell out onto the floor glowing brightly. Tell her I will pay her for her help in defending Uruk from its enemies, Naruto said as he picked up another clay tablet and went back to work, allowing Sindri to lead them out into a house that they can use. Once everyone was settled into their new house, Sindri asked everyone to meet her so that she can explain how things are going to work for them and some of the tasks that they will be required to ask of them. Do you think Naruto knows about the fake Enkidu? Mash asked the people in the room, making the atmosphere turn solemn. Yes, he does, however he doesn't seem to be bothered about it. He made it seem like Enkidu was of no importance, even though Enkidu was his brother's best friend, Sindri said to everyone, making look confused. That is not really how Naruto feels. He is actually quite upset and angry. To Naruto, Enkidu was someone like a brother, even though they have never met. This is due to Naruto's special clairvoyance, where he can see the past, present and the future. He has actually seen how Enkidu and Gilgamesh were together. The reason why it seems like Naruto doesn't care is because Naruto has forced himself to remain calm in order to be the idea king for Uruk, otherwise he would have left to face Enkidu. Merlin explained to everyone in the room how Naruto was feeling, making Sindri upset, however she didn't show it. After some more talking, Sindri left to continue help Naruto in the throne room. After she left, there was only Merlin, Anna, Ritsuka and Mash, allowing Mash to use her shield to talk to Dr. Roman. After a while of talking to Dr. Romani, the group were interrupted by a group of people. Oh, what an interesting spell, the woman said to the people in the room. The new group of people then introduced themselves to Ritsuka as 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐴, Benkei and Leonidas. After a while of talking and drinking, the group was having a good time with each other. 1 month later. During the 1 month, Mash and Ritsuka have been working hard throughout Uruk with them, helping the people, as well as fixing and building homes for people Knus. So far the people have warmed up to them, as well as the servants that Naruto summoned. The group have been called to the throne room by Naruto to discuss their actions and to receive a task personally from Naruto. Once they were in the throne room of the ziggurat, they saw Naruto in another meet with 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐴 and Benkei, telling them to reinforce the northern wall. Ah, good, Ritsuka Fujimura and Mash Kirilight, the people that I wanted to see. Everyone please leave the room as I need to speak to them in private, Naruto said out loud, making everyone in the room leave. So, what did you need us for, your majesty? Ritsuka asked Naruto, making him sigh. Please don't call me that. If I'm being honest, I don't like being called that as it feels like I'm replacing my brother, Naruto said as he dropped his head. The only reason why I am here is because my brother is dead, Naruto finished, stunning everyone. Gilgamesh is dead, Ritsuka stuttered in shock of what he heard. Yes, my brother is dead. After his journey for the herb of immortality and losing it, he went back to the underworld and refused to return, staying next to the grave of his best friend, Enkidu. The reason why I haven't told anyone of this news is because it would crush their spirits and they would lose hope. However, the good news is that my brother can return to the land of the living, Naruto told the Chaldea group. So why did you tell us then? Mash asked Naruto, who looked annoyed. No matter where I am, my brother always causes trouble for me, Naruto whispered to himself, however everyone could hear him. The reason why I have told you this is because it is important for you to understand the situation you are in. I have done all I can to save this era of humanity, from summoning my own servants to even destroying my own brother's treasury and using it to build the northern wall and using the contents inside to make weapons for the people to use to defend themselves, Naruto told them, shocking them. At how far Naruto has gone to protect the people. The only thing I can do now, I go to the battlefield myself, however my duties here prevent me from leaving. So, I need you to be my arms and legs and do the things that I cannot. Naruto said to the group, making them nodded their head with a smile. Yes, Your Highness, the two Chaldeans said at once, making Naruto smile. Naruto then went on to explain their mission and where the mission was located. 3 weeks later. After 3 weeks, the group of Chaldea and Merlin returned from the last mission and then quickly reported how their mission went with them meeting a mysterious person and how well that person was able to fight despite their eccentricities. I see, well, no matter. The people seemed safe and that person was clear with one of the goddess that is opposing us. Naruto said out loud. For now, you can go and rest and enjoy yourself with the other people in Uruk, Naruto ordered, making them smile. Thank you, Your Highness. Ritsuka and Mash left the room, leaving Naruto and Merlin alone in the throne room. So, Naruto, do you think they can do it? Do you think they can fix the singularity? Merlin asked the boy on the throne. Yes, they can, I know they can. They just need the confidence to do so, and these tasks that I have been sending them on is meant to increase that confidence. I think it's about time they see how the king handles himself in a fight, Naruto said to the mage, who looked intrigued. Really? And who do you think they will face that will require you to save them? Merlin asked, intrigued. However, Naruto's face took on a look of sadness, making Merlin who he was talking about. This isn't the time to be wallowing in sadness, now is the time for humanity to put their best foot forward and pave their own path, Naruto said, making Merlin smile. Truly, you are most certainly a most interesting king, Merlin said with a smile, making Naruto sigh. After a while of enjoying themselves among the people, helping with their chores and playing games with the children and honest spending time with an old lady, Naruto called them back to the ziggurat to give them more order to fulfill. So, Your Highness, why did you call us back? Did you have another mission for us? Ritsuka asked the man on the throne, who smirked. You're learning well, Ritsuka Fujimaru. The next mission that I have for you is to check the water supply, as we don't want to have a major problem like that right now, Naruto told them, making them give a brief nod of agreement. Yes, Your Highness, the group said, and then left the room. 2 days later. Mash and Ritsuka were currently riding a wagon pulled by a donkey through a barren plain and were enjoying talking to each other and recounting their tales so far and what their plans for their future are. Your journeys and tales are so interesting and your struggle commendable, a voice told them, making them look into the wagon to see Naruto sitting down. What about you? Your Highness, what of your tales? You must have a lot, Mash said to Naruto, who only smiled. To tell you the truth, I'm not from this time period or even this dimension. I'm from a dimension where the age of gods has not ended and the gods are free to do whatever they want. However, you could call my travels fun, but my journey through life has been a hard one because as soon as I was born, I had to fight for my right to live, all but forgotten by my original family except for one. Then I was adopted into an amazing family that allow me to experience the joys of living. That is why I am trying so hard to keep Uruk alive. Naruto told them, shocking them at the news of him being from a different time and dimension, as well as the fact that he was left for dead. If that is so and you are from a different time period, then how did you get here? Dr. Roman asked through the device on Ritsuka's wrist. That is a question. I was brought here by 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝, the master of the second true magic, to help you with this singularity, and once I am done, I will be sent back home to my mother and brother, Naruto told them, confusing Mash and Ritsuka about the person who sent him here. What? You mean to tell me the master of trolling came to you to ask for help? Dr. Roman yelled over the device, making Naruto nod his head. Who is 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝? Mash asked out loud, making Naruto sigh. 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝 is the user of the second true magic, or commonly called the kaleidoscope, and he is a master troll that would give Merlin a run for his money, but 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝 doesn't like to get involved in other people's problems. He has however been enjoying yours and Mash's journey, trying to fix the errors in human history, but he ran into a problem in this singularity, as you would meet the older version of Gilgamesh, where he is a wise ruler. However, that did not happen here, as you know, and he wanted someone to help, so I came here and started to help out. Naruto told the people present that some that powerful was enjoy watching their journey through the ages and wanted to help indirectly. It is nice to know that we had a helping hand, Ritsuka said as he smiled. The journey continued for a bit more till they reached a building next to a lake where people were collecting water. After walking to the building, everyone was shocked to Naruto there, making him sigh tiredly and allowed Ritsuka and Mash to quickly talk to the people in the build and receive their report. When Ritsuka and Mash were done, they took a walk to the seaside and saw how beautiful the sea was. The two of them got to talking about finding meaning in their lives, as well as how hard these past few years were for them. The two were interrupted when Enkidu came from nowhere and started to attack them, however they were saved by Naruto. After the fight was finished and Enkidu retreated, the group quickly went back to their wagon and went back to Uruk so that Naruto can go back to being king, as well as make sure it was protected from the goddess alliance. Once Naruto was back in Uruk, he quickly returned to the ziggurat and called for a meeting between the servants and the generals of the army. He didn't need to wait long for them to all assemble in the throne room. "But you have all arrived quickly," Naruto told everyone in the room, making them pay attention to him. "What did you summon us for, Lord Naruto?" 𝐤𝐢𝐴 asked her king, making him smile. "I have had enough of constantly being of the defensive, as I has done more harm than good. So, I have decided to go on the offensive, and in order to do that, I will be making some changes that will be effective immediately," Naruto said out loud, making everyone confused at what he was saying. "What do you mean, my king?" Sindri asked Naruto, making him smirk. "My first order is this: Sindri is to be made the new ruler of Uruk for anything that involves the running of Uruk. However, anything that has to do with Uruk security will be reported to me. My next order is that I will be stationed at the northern wall, and finally the Chaldea group, Merlin, Anna, 𝐤𝐢𝐴, 𝐵𝐞𝐻 and Leonidas, will be the ones to fight the three goddesses," Naruto told everyone, shocking them at Naruto's declaration. What? "You cannot be serious, Your Majesty," Sindri said, almost having a mental breakdown. However, all she received was laughter. "Sindri, I don't see why you're so shocked. You have basically been running the city without me, so this should be anything new," Naruto told her, making her quiet down and nodded her head. "Good, I did this because we need a strong defense as well as a strong offense, and this setup allows us to fill all the requirements." Naruto finished explaining himself to the people in the room, making them quiet down. "Good, now then everyone get ready for your new positions," Naruto told everyone, making them quickly leave the room. The next morning, the Chaldea group, Merlin, Anna, 𝐤𝐢𝐴, 𝐵𝐞𝐻 and Leonidas, met Naruto at the northern wall, with him sitting down on some bricks waiting for them. "So, you're ready to leave? I wish you the best of luck, as you're the last offensive we can muster. If you fail, then humanity will fall," Naruto told them as they were preparing to leave. "Of course, Your Majesty," the group all said at once, making Naruto give a tired sigh. "You don't need to call me that anymore. I'm not the ruler of Uruk anymore, so you can just call me Naruto," Naruto told them, making them give a nervous laugh and give a short nod. "We're off then, Naruto," Ritsuka said, making Naruto smile and give a small laugh. However, before they could leave, they saw a large amount of demonic beast running towards them, but before they could get close, the dingers on the wall came to life and aimed at them and fired a magical attack at them, killing them instantly. "Whoa, that was amazing. Who did that?" "I didn't see any people on the wall," Mash said, making the people around her laugh at her exclamation. "That would be me. Who do you take me for? I was the one who built all of the dingers on the wall, so it is only logical that I can control them," Naruto told them, making Ritsuka and Mash look at him in amazement. With them finished talking, the group them went on their way now that their path has been cleared by Naruto. With Ritsuka, the group of the master and servants were making their way through the forest of as they heard rumors of a strange goddess being there that would kill 100 people a day, and after killing them, she would take their bodies with her. After a while of traveling, the group made it into a clearing with a small temple in the middle of it, with a large stone circle on top of it. However, before they could get any closer, someone appeared in front of them. When they looked at the person, they could see that it was a blonde woman with wearing what looked like Mayan clothing, wielding a strange-looking sword that looked like it was meant for brute-forced attacks. "Oh, you must be the forces of Uruk sent to stop me from killing more people," the woman said aloud, making everyone tense, ready for a fight. "That is right, we have come here to stop your attacks on Uruk and its people, and to fix this singularity," Ritsuka said to the woman, making her give a fanged smile. "Oh, then you are prepared to face me, 𝐸𝐴𝐻, in battle," the woman now named 𝐸𝐴𝐻 said, making everyone go into their fighting stances. "That right," Mash said, however had to quickly block a kick from 𝐸𝐴𝐻 with her shield. The group then started to attack 𝐸𝐴𝐻, with Mash providing defense and Leonidas and Amma counter-attacking the goddess. However, 𝐸𝐴𝐻 would simply dodge out of the way and go back onto the offensive. 𝐸𝐴𝐻 and 𝐵𝐞𝐻 were the attacking force that put 𝐸𝐴𝐻 on the defensive. However, that wouldn't last long, as they were forced to evade her attacks of retreat to provide Mash with support. Merlin meanwhile had the job of protecting everyone with his flowers, so that if 𝐸𝐴𝐻 managed to get past Mash, they were still protected. After a while, everyone was getting tired. 𝐸𝐴𝐻's attack were doing less damage, and she was slower than before, allowing for Anna and Leonidas to hurt her during their counter-attacks. After a bit more time, the wounds on 𝐸𝐴𝐻 got to the point where she could fight anymore. That was fun. We should play more often. However, I don't think that is possible anymore," 𝐸𝐴𝐻 said aloud, making everyone relax. "No, it won't. However, I have a better idea. You leave the Three Goddess Alliance and join us to protect Uruk," Ritsuka said to her, to the silent shock of everyone. "Oh, and why would I do that?" 𝐸𝐴𝐻 questioned the master, who gave her a smile. "Because you weren't trying. You never used your noble phantasm during the fight, nor were you fighting at full strength," Ritsuka said, making 𝐸𝐻 smile. You're right, I wasn't fighting seriously, and it was never my intention to wide humanity out, 𝐫𝐞𝐻 said to them, shocking them. However, some were still suspicious of the goddess's intentions, but their suspicions were for nothing when they followed 𝐫𝐞𝐻 to a city where all of the supposed dead people were. I don't actually dislike humans and was trying my hardest to keep them alive. I cannot say if the same for the other goddess, however I can tell you that one of us is actually doing this for revenge against humanity, and that is the goddess of demonic beasts, 𝐫𝐶𝐻 told everyone. However, it left 𝐸𝐸𝐻 and 𝐵𝐴𝐻 confused. Why can't you tell us their names? 𝐸𝐸𝐻 asked the goddess. Before we started our attacks on Uruk, we formed a pact where we cannot reveal each other's names, nor can we attack the other goddess, a part of the alliance. 𝐸𝐶𝐻 told the boy, making him smile as now he understood why the other goddess weren't fighting each other. It doesn't matter anyway, 𝐸𝐸𝐻, about their names. Naruto already knows who is a part of the alliance. However, the information that 𝐸𝐶𝐻 is important as it tells us that the goddess were a part of a non-aggression pact, meaning that the goddess cannot harm each other. Merlin to the convocation, shocking the two Chaldeans and 𝐸𝐶𝐻. The group then went on to discuss what their plans are. However, 𝐸𝐶𝐻 was shocked when she learned that they weren't fighting against Gilgamesh, but rather his brother, who took up the position of king. After a while of talking, Merlin got an idea and decided to recruit Ishtar to fight for them, as well as 𝐸𝐶𝐻 revealed that she wasn't part of the alliance, and for a while, they started planning ways to convince Ishtar to help them, but it was 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐻 that pointed out that Ishtar liked jewels and gems. So they went with the plan of going to Mount Ebott and using gems to bribe her into helping. So with that plan in mind, the group with one new member started to make the journey towards Mount Ebott with a cart full of gold and gems that was provided by Naruto, who was laughing when he was told of their plan. Once everyone was at the top of Mount Ebott, they saw a massive shrine with gold statues to Ishtar on top of the mountain. As the group walked towards the shrine, they were attacked by a magical beam. "What do you think you're doing here?" a voice called out to them, making them look up, revealing the same girl 𝐸𝐸𝐻 and 𝐵𝐴𝐻 meet before they got to Uruk. "We needed more help for Uruk against the other goddess in the alliance, and we thought that since you weren't a part of it, you could help Uruk," 𝐸𝐸𝐻 said. However, Ishtar still looked annoyed. "Why would I help that golden brat?" and his annoying ego, Ishtar said to 𝐸𝐸𝐻, who looked at her confused. I don't think you know this, but Gilgamesh isn't king anymore. He was replaced twice, once by his brother and then by his advisor Sindri, so you really don't need to worry about him," 𝐸𝐸𝐻 said, making Ishtar pause in her ranting to look shocked. "Gilgamesh isn't the ruler of Uruk. Then I will listen to your request. It must be really important, otherwise you wouldn't be here," Ishtar said seriously to the group of people. "Yes, it is. Two other goddesses are laying siege to Uruk, and we need all the help we can get, as Gilgamesh's brother has stepped down as king so that he can personally protect Uruk while we deal with the other goddess. We will even supply you with gems," 𝐸𝐸𝐻 told the goddess and allowed Merlin and 𝐵𝐴𝐻 to move aside to show a cart full of gems. "You have a deal," Ishtar said, immediately making some of the people in the group laugh internally at how the goddess was acting. The group then headed back to the Uruk. Once they reached the northern wall, they saw Naruto calm sitting on the wall, keeping an eye out for attacks. However, once he saw 𝐸𝐸𝐻 and his party, he beckoned them to talk to him. "I see that your plans so far have worked, and I must admit I never thought you could convince them to join us, but I have been pleasantly surprised. Now on to business. There is no point in reporting to Sindri as she wouldn't know what to do. However, I do. Your next step is to either convince 𝐸𝐸𝐻, our fighter, and to do that you need to enter the Underworld." Naruto gave the group the next set of orders. However, before anyone could say anything, Ishtar met with Naruto. "I don't know who you are, but you cannot be Gilgamesh's brother as he didn't have any siblings," Ishtar said to Naruto's face, making everyone confused. However, they tensed ready for a fight. However, Naruto simply smiled. "You're right, you wouldn't know me. It's time for the truth. The only ones who know this are the one from Chaldea and Merlin," Naruto told them, making everyone pay attention. "I'm not from this time period nor this dimension. I'm from a future where the age of gods hasn't ended, and this allowed gods to exist in the modern age. However, I'm not talking about one pantheon of gods but all of them, from Christianity to Zoroastrianism, all fighting for this own territory," Naruto told everyone, shocking them at the thought of every god being in a single world. "But how would that be possible? The only winner would be Christianity because of their god," 𝐵𝐴𝐻 said to Naruto, who smirked. "That would be because he's dead," Naruto told them, shocking them at the thought of the biblical god being dead. "But not all. Lucifer, Beelzebub, Leviathan and Asmodeus were all killed as well by Gilgamesh. My brother did this because there was a massive war between the heavenly faction and their fallen counterparts. It got to the point where the only humans left alive were in Uruk under my brother's and mother's care. Enraged by the destruction, Gilgamesh took to the battlefield and killed everyone on the battlefield," Naruto told them, shocking them that Gilgamesh was the one to kill them. "Now onto the important information. I was brought here by an interested party to help the people in the singularity, and to do that I took the place of Gilgamesh. However, before you go to the Underworld, I need to tell you something." Don't let your mind get confused with gods and their domains, Naruto told them. The group then went into Uruk to get some rest and resupply for their next mission. The next morning the group set off again to find an entrance to the underworld with the help of Ishtar. During their journey they talked to each other and exchanged tales they had during their lives, with Ritsuka paying a lot of attention to 𝐫𝐞𝐻𝐿 and Leonida's stories. After a while of walking they were on a short hill where Ishtar said the underworld was located under. So how do we get to the underworld then, Ishtar? Ritsuka asked the goddess, making her look uneasy, and instead of answering their question, she floated into the air and then aimed her bow at the group and then shot a massive arrow at them. When everyone woke up, they saw themselves in a place that looked like a massive cave with large stone bridges connecting to other places. So this is the Mesopotamian underworld. It looks completely different than the Mayan one, 𝐫𝐞𝐻𝐿 said loud as he looked around the area. Welcome to Ur, the place where all of the souls in Mesopotamia go, but it looks strange there was never this many soul cages, Ishtar said to everyone as she investigated one of the cages. Soul cages? Leonidas asks the goddess, making her turn to the group. Yes, 𝐸𝐴𝐻 likes to cage souls that interest her to prevent them from leaving the underworld, Ishtar told them, making them look at all the soul cages. So these souls are all of the people that 𝐸𝐴𝐻 brought here, 𝐸𝐴𝐻 said as he looks into one of the soul cages to see blue flames. Yes, that right, Ishtar said as she led the group through underworld. After some walking the group's path was blocked by a stone gate with decorative animals on it. The group then went on to answer 7 questions asked by the stone gates. With each stone gates passed, they would get closer to 𝐸𝐴𝐻's shrine. However, as they got closer Ishtar lost more and more of her divinity, shrinking her to the size of Fu. When everyone got to the end of the stone bridge they were walking, they spotted a large flat area where a stone shrine was placed. As everyone got closer to the shrine, they felt their body temperature drop as the area was freezing cold. I see, so you have come to kill me then to prevent my attack on Uruk. A disembodied voice said, making everyone tense, ready to fight. That is if you give us no other option. I would much rather talk in order to fix our problems. However, I have noticed something during my time in the underworld and piecing the things that I have been told by Ishtar and Naruto, Ritsuka said out loud, confusing everyone but Merlin, who smiled. What are you talking about? The voice asked, making Ritsuka smile. What you have been doing here could be considered a kindness. You have taken the souls of the living who were in danger and kept them down here where it is safe from the dangers that threaten those above, Ritsuka said loud, shocking everyone at the thought of what the goddess has been doing. There was a brief silence in the area, however, that was then interrupted when they heard crying, and when they found the origin they saw a blonde version of Ishtar sitting on the shrine wiping her tears. Why, you understand what I'm doing? 𝐸𝐴𝐻 said to Ritsuka, who nodded his head. I was told by a friend not to confuse a god with their domains. At first I was confused by what he meant, but when I think about what he said, he was right. Normally a person would think you are an evil goddess wanting to kill everything because you rule the dead. However, when I thought about the information that I collected so far, you seem like the opposite and care for those in the underworld and are keeping them here to keep them safe from the other goddesses, Ritsuka said to her, making her smile. You are correct, this was the only way I thought I could help the humans against the other goddess. However, it seems that I only needed to worry about one of the goddesses, considering that the other member of the alliance is here with you, 𝐸𝐻 told the boy, who smiled at her. That's good. I would like to ask you for your help and help Uruk and its people by defeating the other goddess, Ritsuka asked, making 𝐸𝐻 nervous. I would love to, however the oath that me and 𝐫𝐞𝐻 made with the other goddess, making it impossible for us to attack each other. 𝐸𝐻 said. However, before anyone could come up with an idea, 𝐸𝐻 was cut by a mysterious stranger, shocking everyone. 𝐸𝐻, the goddess of the underworld, no one experienced a kind and loving death, unlike those who were in your care. I have lifted thy's contract with the other goddesses. The same can be said for the goddess of the sun, the stranger said before disappearing, leaving everyone confused at the person's actions. Everyone left the underworld and quickly got back to the underworld, with thanks to 𝐫𝐞𝐻 using her 𝐫𝐞𝐻 to fly back to Uruk so that they can report their success to Naruto and then come up with a plan to attack Gorgon. The group of Naruto, Chaldeans, goddesses and servants were talking to each other about their plans to confront Gorgon. They were all currently standing around a map with icons on it to mark important location as well as the allied and the enemy forces. As you can see, most of Gorgon's forces are protecting her blood fort. The blood fort is her base of operation and where she takes the humans that have been captured by her. We do not know the reasons why she had been taking them there, however it cannot be for anything good. Naruto told everyone present as he pointed to each of the icons on the map showing Gorgon's forces. Right, but how are we going to get to Gorgon, as we would have to go through all her demonic beast and then somehow enter the blood fort, said to Naruto, who only smirked at her, presented a miniature axe. We will use that was next to 𝐫𝐞𝐻 temple and launch with 𝐫𝐞𝐻 at the blood fort that will destroy it. Naruto said it, took the small axe and slammed it down on the small mountain, crushing it. But what about the demonic beasts that would then go back to the blood fort to defend it? 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐿 asked Naruto, who paused to think and then smiled and then took the miniatures of 𝐤𝐢𝐻𝐼, Benkei, Leonidas and 𝐫𝐞𝐻 and placed them a distance away from the fort and then moved the other miniatures of Anna, Merlin, Mash, Ishtar and Ritsuka to the Blood Fort. Group 1, which is 𝐤𝐢𝐻𝐼's group, will be the distraction that will draw the demonic beasts away from the fort, while Ritsuka's team will sneak into the fort and kill Gorgon, Naruto told them, making them nod their heads. The next day everyone was getting ready for the mission. 𝐫𝐞𝐻 was able to use her 𝐫𝐞𝐪 to carry Marduk's axe to Uruk and in a position where she can throw the axe at the Blood Fort. 𝐤𝐲𝐼 was cleaning her armor and sword with Benkei, Leonidas was training Will the wall guards, Ishtar was counting the number of gems she has, Merlin was talking with Anna, and Mash and Ritsuka were talking to the people at Chaldea. Before Ritsuka and Merlin met up with the others, they started a conversation with each other. You know what, just for the fun of it, Ritsuka, I will answer one question of your choice, and I will answer it truthfully, Merlin told the boy, making him smile. Okay, then why did you decide to serve Naruto? Ritsuka asked the mage, making him snicker a bit, then start to laugh. Truly you are one strangled person. You are talking to the person who helped raise King Arthur and is one of the strongest mages in history, and your question is such a simple one, Merlin said loud with mirth, making Ritsuka embarrassed. However, I like that about you. To answer your question, it is because truth be told, me and Naruto hold more in common than not. You see, the two of us hold no attachments to humans themselves. Naruto is an adjudicator, someone who tries to keep humans on a fair scale, that is why he protects mankind, but doesn't favor individuals. On the other hand, I'm only a spectator, I don't ever take sides, humankind or individuals, it is not my business, Merlin said to the boy, making him think about what he was told. But it seems like the both of you like humans though, Ritsuka said, making Merlin laugh. You know, you're pretty bold to say something like that. Well, I won't deny it, you're right, both of us are fond of humans, Merlin told Ritsuka, confusing him. You don't have an attachment to humans, but you still like them, isn't that a contradiction? Ritsuka asked Merlin. Well, that more of a difference of perspective. Naruto believes that the things humans create have meaning, but I on the other hand am interested in the end of mankind. I continue to survive to witness that, so that just means that the both of us are inhuman. I am a mix of a human and an incubus. I have studied mankind, however understanding them still eludes me. In the end, an incubus is nothing more than the stuff of dreams, Merlin said solemnly to Ritsuka. Bufu said to Merlin, making him pause and smile. That said, there is happiness for someone like me. I have a unique purpose that is shared with no one else, Merlin continued, making Ritsuka smile. What's that? Ritsuka asked, interested in what Merlin was telling him. Just this. A happy ending for humanity, of course. In the final moments of mankind, the last human is going to have a dream, and I want to see it. Humans are foolish and flawed creatures, but even with those imperfections, the history you create is beautiful. No matter how humanity ends, the mark you will leave on the universe will be worth it, Merlin finished when both he and Ritsuka were at the northern wall where everyone was waiting. When everyone was ready, they met Naruto at the northern wall, however he had his eye narrowed south, however people brushed this off when he turned to face them with a smile. But you're already done preparing. Once you do this, you will only need to get your hands on the Grail, and then this era can be fixed, so you must prepare yourselves, you're about to complete the final steps of this journey. I wish you the best of luck. Naruto told them, and they all walked off into the distance. 𝐫𝐞𝐻 was in front of the northern wall with Marduk's axe next to her, ready for her to throw at the Blood Fort. Ritsuka's team sneaked around the demonic beasts and next to the Blood Fort ready to sneak in, and 𝐤𝐲𝐼 was walking directly at the Blood Fort, drawing the demonic beasts' attention. When 𝐤𝐲𝐼's team made contact with the demonic beasts, Merlin used his magecraft to launch a ball of light into the air to act as a signal for 𝐫𝐞𝐻 to throw the axe. When she saw the signal, 𝐫𝐞𝐻 grabbed the axe handle and started to spin at high speed. Once 𝐫𝐞𝐻 picked up enough momentum, she let the axe go, making it shoot towards the Blood Fort and destroy the front wall, allowing Ritsuka's team to slip into the fort. But Ritsuka's team. When everyone got inside the fort, they were disgusted by what they saw. The wall were covered by flesh with purple orbs attached to them. What are they? Ritsuka asked Merlin. When Mash looked at one of the pods, a human figure made itself known, however parts of their body are missing. It is better not to ask, it isn't a pleasant sight to behold, Merlin told them seriously. There are people in these pods. We need to get them out of them, Mash said in a panic, however everyone stopped her, even Ritsuka. We need to go, Mash, there is nothing we can do for them, Ritsuka said as he put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. It's time for Gorgon to die. Using humans as fuel, breaking them down and calling it productive and calling it revenge. That defeats the whole point, Ishtar said seriously too. I can take you to her, Mash, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to need your power in order to defeat her, Anna said from behind everyone, making them turn around. The group then continued to walk deeper into the blood fort, passing bones and skeletons along the way. However, after a short walk, they reached the deepest chamber in the blood fort. "Where are you, Gorgon? Show yourself." Ritsuka yelled into the room. As if you answer his cry, the center of the room started to bubble to reveal Gorgon. When Gorgon looked at Anna, she started screaming and ranting about Anna being a monster and then started to attack the group. https://yahoo.b/djzviik6m7gw https://yahoo.b/a4dutrw_9b8 Start of video to 113. After Gorgon was killed and Merlin saved Anna from falling into a chasm that she made, the group were preparing to leave. However, Enkidu entered the room looking for Gorgon. "Mother, are you okay? Answer me. If I wasn't nearby, she didn't have 𝐫𝐞𝐻's protection, so this was bound to happen," Enkidu said aloud so that everyone could hear him. "Does this grieve you?" Ishtar asked sarcastically. "I am Kingu. Loving Tiamat is part of who I am, therefore I will deliver this blow as an offering to her spirit," Kingu said, and then charged at Ritsuka. However, his attack was blocked by Mash with her shield. He was then forced to dodge a barrage of magical shots by Ishtar and jump a distance away. "Thank good we managed to get through to you. We managed to get a reading that Gorgon was killed, so why hasn't the singularity ended yet?" Dr. Roman's voice came from Ritsuka's wrist device, making them confused. However, before anything could happen, Merlin collapsed to the ground and looked like he was attacked by something. "Now I see, we fell for it. It seems that in this battle of wits, you're the victor," Merlin told Kingu, who had a smirk on his face. "So you finally figured it out, didn't you? You clever incubus, to put off her waking you put mother in a cage made entirely out of dreams," Kingu told Merlin. "The cage made out of dreams?" Ritsuka said aloud, confused. However, Ishtar caught on. "It was because we killed Gorgon," Ishtar said to Kingu, who had the same dark smirk as before. "That right, my only concern was to wake mother from her slumber, and to do that I linked Gorgon with the real Tiamat and used that to wake her up," Kingu told them and then flew away. Merlin quickly collapsed to the ground and was starting to disappear. "Listen, return to Uruk and tell Naruto that the final stage of his plan is a go, and that one of the beasts of the counterforce, one that devours humanity, has awaked. The primordial mother has awakened." Merlin finished speaking and fade away. The group quickly used the Quetzalcoatlus to fly to Uruk, where they saw humans being attacked and ripped apart by black creatures with large mouths. However, they also saw Quetzalcoatl, 𝐫𝐸𝐼𝐻, Benkei and Leonidas defending the people and getting them to safety. After a while of fighting them, they all suddenly paused and ran away. Everyone quickly got into the ziggurat to report what they have done. However, they were interrupted when they saw Naruto speaking to the survivors and telling them to get ready to leave. Once the survivors left, Ritsuka reported what had happened. "I see, well then it seems my prediction was true. Now then I guess I need to commence my true plan," Naruto said to everyone present, shocking them. "Wait, you knew this was going to happen? Why didn't you tell us?" Ritsuka said to Naruto, who nodded his head. "That is correct, and why I couldn't fight any of the other goddess, I was preparing for the real enemy. As for why I didn't tell you was because I need you to gain the confidence to face her, and in order to do that I used the goddess as a tool," Naruto told them, shocking them at how he had foresaw the events that were happening. "Now then, onto my plan on how to kill Tiamat. Step 1 is for 𝐫𝐸𝐼𝐻, Benkei and Leonidas to lead the survivors to somewhere safe, as this is no longer a battle where you can help, as you would be corrupted by Tiamat's chaos tide. Step 2, I need you Chaldeans and the goddess and Anna to protect Uruk while they escape." Naruto ordered them, making them nod their heads. "What about you, Naruto? What will you do?" Mash asked, making Naruto smirk and cross his arms. "I will show you the power of the King of Heroes as well as the King of Humanity. I will attack Tiamat at her source," Naruto told, shocking them. "But that's suicide," Ritsuka shouted in shock. However, Naruto smirked, "Depend. That is why I'm going. I alone have the power to face her as she is right now. Anyone else would be in the way." Sindri, Naruto told them, and then turned to face Sindri. "Yes, your highness," Sindri said aloud. "It has been a pleasure being your king. Now for your final order. You are to be the queen for the next generations of Uruks. Now run along," Naruto told her with a smile, making her smile as well, and ran to meet up with the survivors. Once Naruto finished ordering everyone, they quickly left the ziggurat, with Naruto going to the south wall to wait for Tiamat. The Chaldeans and the goddess went around Uruk, helping the people collect their stuff and healing the injured to prepare them for their journey to escape. 𝐫𝐸𝐼𝐻, Benkei and Leonidas were leading the people to safety through the northern wall. After a few hours of waiting, Tiamat finally came into view of Uruk, and under her was a sea of mud that was corrupting the sea underneath. "Well, looks like it's my time to show those in Chaldea the true power of the King of Uruk," Naruto said to himself, and stood up and summoned his stone tablet. Naruto then used his magical power to operate all of the dangers that surround Uruk and pointed them towards Tiamat and her children, and started to fire all of the cannons at Tiamat's children, killing them quickly. Meanwhile the Chaldeans and the goddess were shocked at what they were seeing as they saw all Naruto using powers that could rival them, as well as the fact at how fast Naruto was killing the 𝐫+𝐸. Why is he targeting the 𝐫+𝐸 and not Tiamat herself? Ritsuka asked aloud, however Mash heard him. Maybe it is a part of his plan, Mash told him, making him nod his head. However, they quickly turned around when they heard loud banging and saw large fangs coming out of the ground, stopping the mud from progressing closer to Uruk. Wow, he has really thought ahead, Anna said to herself. He really knows what he is doing, 𝐸𝐴𝐻 said aloud. He really is different compared to Gilgamesh, Ishtar muttered. Everyone then watched as multiple ripple formed in front of the south wall and swords and spears shot out of them and hit Tiamat, sending her back a bit. What? How is that possible? How can he use Archer Gilgamesh's power when he was a caster? Dr. Roman's voice came across the device on Ritsuka's arm. Well, he never said that he was a caster and that he was simply saving his power for the real fight, Ritsuka said to the armband. Everyone then heard laughter, making them turn to see Naruto opening more gate to fire more swords at Tiamat that pushed her further away from Uruk. You truly are a beast, a sin of humanity, and so it falls to me, the king of humanity, to show you the potential humanity has, Naruto said as he put a hand into a gate and pulled out a jar. I may or may not have stolen this from my last fight and then tampered with it so that I could give it to someone, however this is more important, Naruto said as he crushed the jar in his hand to reveal a red eye with a shuriken pupil and then pointed it at Tiamat. Naruto then charged mana into the eye, and when he did so Tiamat was pulled into a dimensional tear along with Naruto, shocking everyone who saw him disappear. Wamash said to no one. What happened? The goddess asked at once, looking around for Tiamat or Naruto. Where did they go? Ritsuka asked into the communication device on his arm. We just got a reading of a dimensional tear appearing, then Naruto's and Tiamat's bird origin, then the tear closing. I think Naruto removed her from the planet so that he could fight and killed her without destroying Uruk. Within the 𝐫𝐞𝐬 dimension, Naruto was currently standing across from a transformed Tiamat, taking a more bestial appearance to fight Naruto. However, he made her a bigger target for Naruto to attack with his Gate of Babylon, preventing her from attacking him. Naruto kept opening gate after gate, however most of the weapons coming out of them weren't doing much damage, so he changed his plan of attack and started to target her eyes, blinding her, and then launched a 𝐫𝐴𝐻 at her neck, cutting into her neck, deeply causing her to bleed profusely. Naruto quickly jumped backwards when a white dome appeared around Tiamat and started to move outwards and eclipse Naruto into its range, surprising Naruto that he was still fine, and looked at Tiamat, who was quickly healing. I see, so nothing short of obliterating you will kill you, Naruto told her with a look of pity. Tiamat sang out, making Naruto continue to look at her with pity. You won't find your children here anymore. They met the same fate you did, they were used by humanity to climb the ladder of life, Naruto told her as he opened a gate next to him. Tiamat continued to sing out. No, you weren't forgotten, and you were loved, however there comes a time where the children leave their parents and make their own choices. That is why it is important that I kill you here and now, so that your image is never ruined by the state you are in. So that you are remembered as a loving mother and not as a beast of death and destruction, Naruto continued to tell her as he took a key from his gate and used it. So that is why I shall call this the ritual of absolution and separation, and so I shall perform this final blow as a parting gift to you. I will tell you of the beginning. Heaven and earth split, nothingness congratulated creation, my sword of rupture cleaved the world. Mortar of the stars, heaven's hell is the eve of creation celebration. Now you shall die and be silent. Enuma Elish, Naruto called out and swung 𝐸 down, launching a massive beam of energy that swallowed Tiamat, destroying her body and her spirit core, as destroying most of the dimension that they were. Sigh, what a truly troubled mother, going this far to make sure that your children are safe and happy. Then again, what else am I meant to suspect from a loving mother who is devoted to her children, Naruto said with a sad yet happy smile as he collected the Holy Grail, then faded into golden particles. Uruk. Naruto then reappeared in the ziggurat in the middle of the broken down throne room and made his way over to throne and sat down enjoying the sunset. So everyone sensed his return and ran back into the throne room to see that Naruto was waiting for them. Well done, Chaldeans and goddesses, thanks to you and your hard work the spirit of Uruk and its people will live on through the ages and leave its mark onto human history as the time where humanity separated from the gods, Naruto told them, making them smile. Thank you, Naruto, for your help, Ritsuka said to Naruto, making him laugh. Of course you thought I would allow the place my brother loved with all his heart he destroyed without a fight, then you truly are a comedian, however, that is not what you are here for. Year after this, Naruto says as he summons the Holy Grail he took from Tiamat and then threw it to them. I hope you enjoyed your time here and the journey that you have had through Mesopotamia as well as your time spent here in Uruk, Naruto asked of them, making them smile. We will never forget the journeys that we had here, nor the people we met, Mash and Ritsuka said, making Naruto smile at them. Then I think it's time for you to leave and continue with your last adventure. However, allow me to give you a piece of advice. The man that you call Solomon, the king of mages, is actually a body that is being used as a skin to hide the real villain of humanity's incineration, Naruto told them, making them nodded their heads and disappear in a flash of light with the other goddesses back to Chaldea. Naruto was left alone in the broken down throne room and got bored, so he left for the top of the ziggurat to watch the sunset across Mesopotamia. I had always heard tales about how beautiful the sun looked back in ancient times by my mother and Gilgamesh, and would always get jealous that I would never be able to see what they did. So I must thank you for this opportunity, 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴, Naruto said out loud, and then was joined by 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴 appearing on the ziggurat. Well, there's no need for that. After all, I was the one who asked you to come here and fix the problem that was going on, 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴 said to the boy. True, however, it is at these moments I remember how fragile life is for normal people. Their life was snuffed out before they could even begin. Compared to people like us and the gods, however, it is that quality that me and Gilgamesh enjoy viewing. The progress that humans make is astounding compared to the gods who are stagnant and refuse to progress. It is blinding, Naruto told the old man, who smiled. I guess you're right. They make use of the time that they have and then pass on, fearing the unknown and the darkness. However, brave enough and smart enough to navigate their way, however they still need strong and wise leaders to keep them in line, otherwise they would degrade into chaos, 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴 said as he looked at the sunset. That is why my brother and I are here. We adjudicate them, never playing favorites with them, just watching them, waiting for them to stumble to pick them back up and send them on their way, or to cull a poisonous branch that threatens the whole tree. Truly, people like us are monsters, always guiding humanity, yet never get to experience the pleasures of being one, Naruto said as he watched the final light of the sun disappear behind the horizon. I guess you're right, we are monsters. However, there has never been a rule that says we monsters cannot help humans. It's time that I send you home, 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴 said with a laugh, making Naruto laugh too. I guess you're right too, I have never heard of such a rule, and 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴, I will call you when I'm ready to call in that favor with you, Naruto says as he disappears back home. Modern day Uruk. Naruto quickly found himself back home in the throne room of Uruk, surrounded by his girlfriends, friends and family, who were shocked to see him appear out of nowhere. However, Naruto was quickly tackled into a hug by everyone. Naruto. Ani-chan. Everyone yelled as they hugged him, making him laugh and smile at them. I'm home, Naruto said aloud to everyone, making them smile and welcome him home. When Naruto got home, Naruto explained what he had to do for 𝐤𝐢𝐽𝐴 in detail, shocking Naruto, Mito, Artoria, 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴, Ishtar, Amaterasu and Tamamo. However, both versions of Gilgamesh, Ninsen and Tiamat, was proud of Naruto and what he did for the people of Uruk and Mesopotamia. Gilgamesh, Castor, even went as far as to force Naruto into being king of Uruk for a mouth so that he and his other version could take a break. Ninsen didn't help with the matter either, as she kept gushing, saying that Naruto was now her baby king, embarrassing Naruto. Naruto was even spending more time with Tiamat, making her happy as she got to spend time with one of her babies. When she asked Naruto why he was spending more time with her, his answer shocked her. I watched you constantly degrade yourself in search of your children. I watched a loving mother desperately call out to her children that left her behind to come back. I then watched said mother reduce herself into a monster of death and destruction to continue that search. If I wasn't moved by such love and dedication, then I would be nothing more than a heartless monster, Naruto told her while stroking her head, making her give a sad smile back to him. During their time off, Naruto would take the girls on more date with him. He took 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴 to a forest so that she could see some of the stuff on the earth that she couldn't when she was stuck in the underworld. Naruto took Artoria to England so that she could see what happened after the fall of Camelot, making her break down crying, and after Naruto comforted her, they walked around London and other places in England. Naruto then took Mordred to a racing track where they spent their time racing cars and motorbikes. Naruto then took both Amaterasu and Tamamo out through Japan to enjoy all of the festivals. Once Naruto was done with their dates, Naruto spent time with his sisters, helping Mito with her homework from school, as well as drawing pictures for her. This made Naruto really happy because he wanted his sister to live a normal life where they don't need to worry about life or death battles. Naruto also took Naruto to the elemental nations to see what had happened since the Fourth Great Ninja War. When they arrived, they were flying on the Vimana above Konoha and watching the people suffering because Natsu was made the 5th Hokage by Minato. However, the village quickly went on the decline as Natsu declared war on the other villages. But the other village were part of the same alliance as the Fourth Great Ninja War and just cut Konoha from supplies and customers, leading to the village's decline. When everyone spotted the Vimana, the ninja ordered an attack on it as Natsu put a bounty on both Naruto and Naruto as he want their power. However, none of the ninja tools or jutsu could get past the Vimana's defenses. After a while, Natsu arrived and started to yell at them and demanding they give him their power. However, both Naruto and Naruto weren't listening and simply left and went back home. Now Naruto was enjoying himself with playing with Mito at a park, as recently she had made friends with the local children and wanted to go and play with them after doing her homework. As he was playing with Mito, he was thinking of what 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 could do for him and then got an amazing idea. When Naruto got back to the ziggurat in the center of Uruk, Naruto called for all of his girlfriends to come to his room so that he could talk to them. He didn't need to wait long as his room soon filled up with Artoria, Amaterasu, 𝐸𝐵, Mordred and Tamamo. "So Naruto, why did you call us here for?" Artoria asked her boyfriend as she made herself comfortable on his bed. The other girls looked confused as well. "I called you here to talk to you about an idea that I had. As you know, 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 still owes me a favor for helping him with his problem, and my idea is to use that favor and ask him to transport us to a different dimension for a vacation." Naruto told them his plan, making them pause to think about what they were told. "I like that idea. If we go to a different dimension, then we won't have to worry about our duties here," Mordred said aloud, making the girls think about it. "I like that idea too. I would be fun to see another dimension and how different it is compared to this one," Tamamo said to everyone with a nod of her head. "Then I think we are all agreed with this plan of ours. We will take a vacation to a different dimension to enjoy ourselves," 𝐸𝐵 said aloud, making all of the girls nod their heads, showing their agreement. However, before anyone could talk about anything else, the door slammed open to reveal 𝐵𝐸 and Tiamat falling in. "Don't worry, mother was only trying to make sure her baby boy isn't making her a grandmother yet," 𝐵𝐸 said with a giggle, making everyone embarrassed, and they looked at Tiamat. "I was just interested what you were talking about and I want to come with you," Tiamat said, making everyone look at her and smile. "Sure, well then I'll get in contact with 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 to take us to a random dimension, so go pack your things for the trip. Do you want to come too, mother?" Naruto told them and then asked 𝐵𝐸, who smiled and nodded her head. The next day Naruto got in contact with 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 and told him the favor that he wanted. "So you just want to go to a different dimension for a vacation? Okay, where do you want to go?" 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 asked Naruto. "I want you to pick some place random and take us there. We will then call you when we're ready to come back," Naruto told 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺, making him smirk. "Okay, I can do that," 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 said as he used his jewel sword to cut a tear into space that would allow them to transport them to a different dimension. When everyone saw the opening, they walked into it and found themselves in a large city with skyscrapers everywhere. The group decided to walk around for a bit and they were able to figure it where they were. "So we're in a different version of New York, and if my senses still work, then there are gods present here, which is strange, since modern Northern America don't have any gods they believe in," Naruto told all the girls that came with him, making them think. "Maybe they did what we did and moved from one location to another," 𝐵𝐸 said to him, making him nod his head to her answer. "Well, we're on vacation so we don't have to worry about them. We just need to make sure that a presence is concealed so that we don't get into trouble with the gods here," Amaterasu said, making everyone nod their heads and walked around to find a place to live. After walking for a while, the room found a nice row of houses and saw that one of them was for sale, so Naruto using the Gate of Babylon to acquire the necessary funding to buy the house. The group then used Naruto's and Artoria's charisma to get everyone's citizenship and brought the house. The group soon moved into the house and moved all of their stuff in after sorting out the rooms and who would be staying where. They then went shopping for their necessities and food. However, when coming back home, 𝐸𝐸 spotted their next door neighbor and was shocked to see who it was. "Ray, is that you?" 𝐸𝐸 said to the stranger, making the woman turn around and look at the person who called her name and saw 𝐸𝐸. "𝐸𝐸, is that you? How are you still alive? I thought you died with the rest of the Sumerian pantheon," Ray said to her friend, who looked happy to see her. "Well, if you come inside, we will explain the whole story to you," 𝐸𝐸 said and invited her friend into her house, making her smile. When Ray got into 𝐸𝐸's house, she was shocked by the amount of women she was sharing her house with. However, she blushed when she saw Naruto coming down the stairs. "Oh, hello, I didn't we were going to have guests over," Naruto said to Ray with a smile, making her blush deepen, making some of the girls pout jealousy. "Don't mind me, I'm your next door neighbor and an old friend on 𝐸𝐸. Who are you?" Ray said, making Naruto look from her to his mother. "I'm Naruto, son of 𝐸𝐸 and the strongest demigod," Naruto said, shocking Ray, who looked at 𝐸𝐸. "You had another one? Oh god, how can the world handle another Gilgamesh?" Ray said in a panic, making Naruto and 𝐸𝐸 pout. However, the other girls laugh. The moment was interrupted by Tiamat walking into the room and sitting down with the other girls. When Ray saw her, everyone in the room thought she had a heart attack. "You okay?" Naruto asked as he saw her pale and start to panic. Why you're here as well, Tiamat?" Ray said, freaking out. "I guess I need to explain what is going on," 𝐸𝐸 said, making Ray nod her head frantically. "We are not the people you originally knew. We have come here from our dimension to this one for a vacation as we have been really busy, and I'll have you know Gilgamesh and Naruto are the two sweetest children a mother can ask for," 𝐸𝐸 told her, making Naruto blush and turn away. However, his girlfriend saw this and giggled. "I see, so you're not my 𝐸𝐸," Ray said somewhat sadly, however smile when 𝐸𝐸 hugged her. I'm still the same caring mother, the same can be said about you, 𝐬𝐴 said. However, Ray frowned, making everyone concerned. There have been some problems with my children. They've gotten arrogant, lazy and have started sleeping around him, the humans producing demigods. Even though Zeus and Poseidon swore an oath on sticks to have no more children, Ray said sadly, and started to cry, making 𝐬𝐴 and Tiamat hug her. They don't even visit me anymore. I don't even know if they still love me, and to make things even worse, they banned me and all of the titans from Olympus, she continued, making everyone in the room feel sorry for her. However, they heard a loud bang and turned to see a hole in the room and Naruto walking away. Everyone knew that Naruto was mad, and what Ray just said reminded him of how Tiamat used to be, being absolute loving and supportive of her children. However, she was thrown away by them because she wasn't needed anymore. What is wrong with him? Ray asked 𝐬𝐴, who looked sad, and went on to explain what Naruto experienced, making Ray gasp and look at Tiamat, who looked sad. Naruto was sitting in his back garden trying to calm down and not go to Olympus to kill all of the gods sitting in their thrones. So this is what happens when there are no other pantheons in the world, the ones that are left get extremely arrogant, Naruto thought to himself, and went on a walk through New York. During his walk, Naruto could feel a small amount of divinity every now and again, so Naruto chucked eye up to the amount of demigods were around New York and America. The walk lasted until he was in front of a museum, and he decided to check it out. When he was walking around, Naruto spotted a school class talking about Greek myths. "Mr. Jackson, what can you tell me about Kronos?" a man in a wheelchair asked a boy who didn't seem to pay attention. He ate his children because of a prophecy. However, his wife hid Zeus from him. Zeus was allowed to grow up and later beat Kronos. Percy told the man, making him nod his head. And Percy, can this be applied to real life? The teacher continued to ask the boy. "I don't know," the boy answered, unsure, making the teacher frown. "Then you only get half credit, Mr. Jackson," the teacher said, making everyone laugh. "Why would we need this stuff anyway? I mean, it's not like we would be asked what the strongest demigod would be," one of the students said, making everyone laugh hard. "Oh, and who would the strongest demigod be?" the teacher said to the student, making them go silent. Gilgamesh, Naruto interrupted before anyone could speak, making everyone turn to him. "Oh, what an interesting answer. Most people would say Hercules is the strongest. Why was that your answer?" the teacher said to Naruto. Gilgamesh was said to be the first demigod ever to be born, however he was special as he was 2/3 god. In his life, Gilgamesh never performed 12 labors or killed a beast, but he did something impossible. He collected every treasure mankind ever created and stored them in a vault. Some people even believe that he killed a god, Naruto said, making the teacher smile and shocking most of the class. "What a great answer. Who are you? You don't appear to be one of my students," the teacher asked Naruto, making him smile. "I'm Naruto. I was walking around the museum and I overheard one of your questions to one of your students and I couldn't help myself and spoke out," Naruto said as he shook the teacher's hand, and while he did so he put a piece of paper into his hand. When the teacher pulled his hand back, he saw that he was given a piece of paper and decided to open and see what was on it, and found a message. "It's Iron. It must be hard having to deal with all of those kids as well as the demigod and Satyr, not to mention the fury that your co-teacher is. Truly you love teaching. Naruto." When Chiron finished reading the letter, he looked around to see if he could find Naruto, however he couldn't, and only sighed and went back to teaching the kids in class. But Naruto walked back home too and got in. He found Ray still being comforted by the other girls in the house. When they looked at the door, they found Naruto standing there and smiled at him, making him smile and walk over. "I truly hate this dimension. There are demigods everywhere and it pisses me off. How dare those lowly Greek gods have children like ants. It's disgusting," Naruto said with anger, making almost all of the girls sigh. However, Ray was terrified. "Naruto, calm down and come over here. Your Gilgamesh is showing," 𝐬𝐴 said and patted her legs, making Naruto walk over and lay his head in her lap, making everyone laugh. "We don't need 𝐸𝐴 when we have 𝐬𝐴," Mordred said with a giggle, making the other girls nod their heads. Naruto would have replied, however he was asleep. "The ultimate weapon against Naruto and Gilgamesh is their mother," Tamamo said, making the other girls laugh. "I see you have your children well trained," Ray said to 𝐬𝐴 with a smile, making 𝐬𝐴 giggle. "Some of the other gods say that I spoil them too much, however they don't understand Naruto or Gilgamesh enough to know why I'm always so loving to them," 𝐬𝐴 said, making everyone look confused. "I thought that before I met them it was because you were dependent on them to stay alive. However, once I met you, Naruto and Gilgamesh, I thought you were just being a good mother, but clearly there is another reason," Amaterasu said to 𝐬𝐴, who shook her head. "You're right, it's because I love them. However, there is another reason. Gilgamesh and Naruto were given the power to destroy the world and the power to see a person for all of their worth. Most people would think that such a power would be a gift. However, if you ask Naruto or Gilgamesh, they will say it was a curse," 𝐬𝐴 said, making all the girls think what she was talking about. "I never really thought about it like that, but why would they think it a curse? Artoria asked the goddess, who only smiled sadly and stroked Naruto's hair. Think about it like this, you have the power to see into everyone's heart with no exception. It would destroy most people, as they would constantly look around and see the worst in people, and thinking that no one was worth trusting, they would go mad. That is why I spoil them, so that they know that there will always be someone to love them wholeheartedly with everything they have, so that they will know that they are never alone. Ninsen told them as she started to cry a little bit, making everyone comfort her. Well, I think I can say for everyone when I say you have done a good job, Tamamo said, making the other girls in the room nod their heads. But not even the worst of it. When Naruto was younger, he used to cry to me at how it made him feel inhuman. However, as he got older and with help from Gilgamesh, he learned to spirate from his humanity and take the point of view as an adjudicator, always viewing humanity and other races as a whole for their deeds. That is why Naruto and Gilgamesh have such a distaste towards other gods, as they find them useless and need to be killed so that humanity can continue to evolve. Ninsen exposed, making everyone in the room weep at the suffering Naruto goes, though to make sure humanity is safe. After a while, Naruto woke up on Ninsen's lap to see her smiling at him, making him smile as well and get up from her lap, making her pout at him, making him laugh. So did you have a good day? Ninsen asked, making Naruto frown, then smile. Other than all of the demigods, then yeah, I had a fun time. However, I saw something that will be even more fun in the future. Naruto told her with a large smirk on his face, piquing Ninsen's attention. Oh, and what would that be? Ninsen asked her son, who only smiled more. There is a camp for demigods that was built for them to stay at because they are hunted by monsters, and the camp director is Chiron, Naruto told her, making her smile. And you're going to go there then? Ninsen asked rhetorically, making Naruto give a fang grin. And show them what a real demigod is like and show them where they are in this world. The best thing is that their parents can claim them, Naruto continued to say, making Ninsen sigh. So let me guess, you want me to claim you when you get into camp, why? Ninsen said, confused at what Naruto was asking her. Because this is the best way to get justice for Ray. I will catch their attention, however they cannot do anything to me because their daddy dearest is waking up, Naruto told her and heard a gasp, making Naruto look to its source to find Ray. You would go that far just for me? Ray asked. However, she got a smile from Naruto and Ninsen. I would. I understand where this is going, and I refuse to accept what they are doing, especially to one of my mother's friends, Naruto said, and walked over and hugged her, making her cry and hug back. After calming down, Naruto told his plan to his girlfriends, making them smile and give their agreement for the plan. Naruto then left on the Vimana and traveled to Camp Half-Blood. However, once he got there, he saw a car being followed by a Minotaur, and as they got closer to camp, was hit by a lightning bolt, forcing the car to crash. That made everyone leave the car and run for camp, but as they got closer to the camp, the Minotaur caught up with them and went to kill the woman, however, before she could be crushed. Naruto opened some gates and shot multiple swords at it, killing it and letting the woman go. Naruto then used a teleport spell to send the woman home. Naruto then used the Vimana to fly down and land on the ground, allowing Naruto to walk off the flying platform, allowing for everyone from camp to see him as he walked closer, making everyone tense. When Naruto passed the protective barrier, everyone pointed their weapons at Naruto. However, before anyone could do anything, a light above Naruto attracted their attention. When then looked up, they saw a cow and a name. Ninsen? Who is that? One of the demigods yelled. Is it one of the minor gods? Another one questioned. However, that question got Naruto mad. Really? You mongrels are demigods, yet you don't know the tale of the oldest demigod in recorded history, Naruto said aloud, pissing some of the other people off. Oh yeah, and what would that tale be? One of the demigods yelled, mad at Naruto's comment. Gilgamesh was the first and strongest demigod ever and was around before Greece was even thought of, and his mother is the goddess of fertility and cows, Ninsen. That means you insulated not only me but him as well. Naruto said, shocking them that demigods went that far back. Oh, really? Then what time period did he come from? Another the demigod said, making Naruto smirk. 2900 BC, the time where humanity first started civilization, Naruto said as he continued to smirk, making the rest of them shut up. It is good to see you again, Naruto. However, I'm quite shocked at who your mother is, Chiron said to Naruto, who waved at the centaur. Yeah. It must remind you of the good days, where there was about 3 or 4 demigods a generation. However, now you need to look after this many mongrels, Naruto told the centaur, whose eye was twitching. Must you call them that? Chiron asked, making Naruto smirk at him. Naruto said, making the whole camp either angry at the truth or sad because it was the truth. The gods have many rules that they must follow, Chiron said in the go favor. However, Naruto's face broke into a scowl. No. They're just cowards who cannot do the work themselves and rely on these they say are beneath them and forget about the most important person to them, Naruto told the centaur, confusing him and everyone else. However, the thunder and lightning increased to show Zeus's rage. They forgot someone important, Chiron said to himself. However, Naruto heard him and decided to answer him. Naruto answered the man's question, shocking him and all the other campers at his answer. Naruto then walked away, fading into golden dust, vanishing from everyone's sight. On Olympus, Zeus and Poseidon were currently arguing with each other because Poseidon revealed that he had a child and broke his oath on Styx. So Zeus sent monsters after both his son and the woman that birthed him. The other Olympians were ignoring them as they were busy doing other things. Aphrodite was trying to seduce Ares. Hephaestus was crafting something with his hands and ignoring Aphrodite. Hera was filing her nails. Athena was reading a book. Hermes, Apollo and Dionysus were asleep. Artemis was sharpening an arrow and Demeter was tending to a plant. Zeus and Poseidon stopped arguing when they saw the Minotaur being killed and a gold floating platform and a boy on the platform who used magic to teleport the woman away from the camp. They then saw the golden platform lowered to the ground for him to get off and walk to camp. When everyone heard the arguing between Zeus and Poseidon, everyone stopped what they were doing and looked at where Zeus and Poseidon were and saw Naruto walk into camp, and as soon as he did, a light and a name appeared above Naruto's head, shocking most of the room. However, the elder Olympians were terrified as they had heard stories from their mother about the goddess who claimed Naruto and the power her demigod had. Before any of the god could question each of, they heard Naruto being called out by 𝐲𝐼𝐼𝐼, intriguing everyone. However, that then changed to rage when they heard Naruto's next words. Yeah. It must remind you of the good days, where there was about 3 or 4 demigods a generation. However, now you need to look after this many mongrels. When they heard what Naruto said, they went into a rage and were preparing to smite him, but his next words shocked them. What else are they then? Their parents don't certainly care. You might as well call them mongrel trapped in a cage like animals to be used and thrown away. Why else are there this many? Otherwise, when they heard what he said, they were in shock of what they heard. However, their anger returned when they heard what he said next after 𝐲𝐼𝐼𝐼 defended them. No. They're just cowards who cannot do the work themselves and rely on these they say are beneath them and forget about the most important person to them. Everyone was a second away from trying to smite the demigod when they heard they forgot something. Did we forget something? Demeter asked herself to try to remember. The same could be said for the other Olympians in the room. However, Naruto answered their question. They forgot their own mother. I had Ray at my mother's house crying her eyes out as she felt betrayed and unloved by her own children. The elder Olympians have forgot their own mother, and it goes to show what they must think of their own kids. When the gods heard what Naruto said, they were shocked and depressed. We forgot about her, Poseidon said to himself. How can we have forgotten about her? Demeter said aloud. The same could be said for the other Olympians, as they were all in shock about forgetting about their own mother and that she felt betrayed by them. It was at that moment that they made a promise to spend more time with their mother. They were so shocked that they forgot what Naruto said prior. Back at camp. The next day, Percy Jackson woke up from being attacked by the Minotaur and was given a tour around the camp. However, Percy was soon on the picking end of Claris' bullying after he insulted her. However, Claris' plan to put Percy's head in a toilet failed when the toilet exploded. Percy was then forced into combat gear as he was told he was going to participate in Capture the Flag with Hermes' cabin. However, before they could start the game, they heard the clanking of metal and saw Naruto walking out of the forest in golden armor, shocking everyone at the armor. I hope I can play as well. I will even the odds by allowing everyone to face me, Naruto said with a smirk that made everyone angry and look at 𝐲𝐼𝐼𝐼 for permission. Sure, why not? I will be fun to watch the new heroes versus the old ones, 𝐲𝐼𝐼𝐼 said, making everyone happy as all the cabins walked to one side and Naruto walked to the other. I think this is a bit unfair, one of the campers said, making Naruto laugh. You're right, this game is still unbalanced in my favor, as none of you mongrels could equal up to me, Naruto said with a laugh, making everyone pissed off and got ready to fight. After 𝐲𝐼𝐼𝐼 rang the bell to start the game, everyone ran at Naruto, making him smirk and open hundreds of gates that had wooden swords and spears in them and shot them at the incoming campers, hitting most of them. However, the campers were making ground. So Naruto changed the formation of the gates and began firing the swords and spears faster, making sure to hit all of them and to take them out of the game. Once Naruto was sure he could begin walking, he picked up his flag and began to walk towards the campers' flag. However, when he reached halfway, a team of Claris, Percy, Annabeth and Luke formed to fight Naruto. The fight between the group of demigods and Naruto wasn't fair, as Naruto decided to use a normal nameless sword and was holding all of them back by forcing them to fight him one-on-one, allowing him to gain ground. The fight got to the point where Claris, Luke, Percy and Annabeth were a few steps away from their flag. Percy came up with a reclass plan and charged into attack. However, his hand was sliced and pushed aside by Naruto, who continued his warpath towards the camper's flag. Left with no other option, Claris, Luke and Annabeth went to attack Naruto. However, they were quickly disarmed by wooden weapons. When they looked at the source of the attack, the spotted golden ripples above them. Naruto then proceeded to take their flag, winning the Capture the Flag game, and then walked towards Percy and saw him getting out of a stream of water and that his injury was being healed while in water. So Naruto grabbed his arm and forced a hand in the water and watch it heal. Then above Percy's head a trident appears, shocking everyone. It has been declared. All hail Percy Jackson, son of Poseidon, god of the sea, storms and earthquakes, Chiron said as he and everyone other than Naruto bowed to Percy, who looked above his head. Why aren't you bowing, Naruto? Chiron said in shock at Naruto's disrespect for the gods. Naruto told the horseman, shocking everyone. Wait, you don't have to show your mother respect, one of the campers yelled, making Naruto sigh. I show my mother the amount of respect as anyone would show to their parent. Why would the gods who brought you into this world as your parent demand you pay more respect to them? Truly the gods never change, Naruto said as he walked away, leaving the forest in silence and fade into golden particles. These gods disgust me, they dare demand respect from their own children that they abuse and forget about, Naruto thought to himself in anger. But the gods. The Olympians were currently watching the game of Capture the Flag. However, when Naruto walked out of the forest, they were shocked in the case of every other god, except for Aphrodite, who started to lust after him as they saw him wearing full gold plate armor. The gods then watched as all the campers formed one team to face Naruto and capture the flag, and were smirking at what they thought was going to be an easy win. However, they were shocked when they saw golden ripples that help wooden weapons in them. What is that power? It looks like a joke, Ares said with a laugh, followed by some of the more arrogant ones. If what some of the rumors were right, then that would be the Gate of Babylon, the place where Gilgamesh stored all the world's treasures. It seems he is going easy on the campers, Athena said, making everyone go quiet. Why do you say he's going easy on them? Hermes asked her, confused by what she meant. However, everyone was shocked. Then the wooden swords and spears shot out the ripples, hitting the campers. The boy could easily use a sword or spear in place of those wooden and kill them before they even had a chance to fight, Athena said, making all the gods grimace at the truth in those words. The gods then watched as Naruto took down all of them demigods except 4 of them who joined together to fight Naruto. They watched as he took a sword from a ripple and started to attack all 4 demigods at once. The gods were shocked when they saw Naruto taking on 4 of their best demigods with nothing but a normal sword and was slow pushing them back to their flag, and after a bit more fighting managed to capture the camper's flag. They then watched Naruto going over to Percy and putting his injured hand into the water and watched as the wound healed. They were about to question Poseidon, however they saw Poseidon's mark above Percy's head. The gods then saw everyone other than Naruto bow made Poseidon mad, and the other gods snicker a bit. Why would I bow to some mongrel or his father? When I don't even bow to my own mother. Everyone started to laugh even harder when they heard Naruto said that. However, Demeter frowned, and so did Hera. Doesn't that boy respect his mother? Hera said aloud to herself, and everyone else was too busy laughing. However, she got an answer to her question. I show my mother the amount of respect as anyone would show to their parent. Why would the gods who brought you into this world as your parent demand you pay more respect to them? Truly the gods never change. When everyone heard that, some of the gods looked sad, however some others looked pissed off. They then watched as Naruto walked away from the forest and disappeared into golden particles. But Naruto walked into his house and saw Ninsen, Ray and Tiamat talking and laughing with each other, making Naruto smile. Naruto then went around the house and saw Amaterasu, Tamamo and 𝐸𝐵𝐸 talking with each other. Mordred was playing on hers box, and Artoria was practicing with Excalibur. When everyone was finished what they were doing, they spotted Naruto at the dinner table with a glass of wine and something to eat. They all smiled at him, and he smiled back, making his girlfriends and Ray blush. So how was your time in camp? Ninsen asked Naruto, making him go through various emotions that played out on his face. Annoyance, rage, loathing and sadness. Was it that bad? Amaterasu asked as she could see the emotions that played across his face, making her worry. It was horrible. You might as well call demigods a new species, there is that many of them at that camp. To make things worse, they are put into cabins that show who their parents are after they're claimed by. However, some of the gods don't claim their children and they're left abandoned in Hermes' cabin. Naruto told everyone, shocking them and making Ray cry. So you mean to tell me they have all of these children and they don't care? Mordred asked as it was bring up some old memories. Yes, they don't care. To the gods they are just tools for them to use and get rid of when they no longer have any use. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't know their own children's names, Naruto said as he put his head into his hands. This is why I don't like gods. They interfere with humanity and use them as tools, then say that they are superior to them, Naruto said as he clenched his hands into fists. However, Ninsen started to comfort him and whisper things into his ears. So what do we do from here? Artoria asked everyone in the room. However, Naruto answered her question. I'm going to get an audience with these gods and demand that they respect their children. If not, then I will force them to listen to me, even if I have to storm Mount Olympus, Naruto said, seriously, shocking everyone. However, they all thought about what he said. You're right, Naruto, they won't listen without being forced to, as they have been in power for too long and have grown arrogant and lazy, Amaterasu said to Naruto, who held her hand and smiled. We need to come up with a plan. Artoria said, making Mordred nod her head. However, Naruto smirked. I just thought of an amazing plan that will show these gods a mother's wrath and scare them into being less arrogant and more loving towards normal humans, Naruto told everyone, piquing their attention. Oh, and how would you do that? Ninsen asked Naruto, making him give her a fanged smile at everyone. Plan 1. Get an audience and take to them if I can. However, if that doesn't work, then we move on to plan 2. We will climb to the top of Mount Olympus and fight them to show their weakness, Naruto told them, shocking them at the second plan. And how would you climb Mount Olympus while being attacked by the gods? Ray asked Naruto, who smirked and turned towards Tiamat, with everyone doing the same. Tiamat can transform into her dragon form and climb the mountain while everyone is on her, and once we're on Olympus, we split up to face on the Olympians. I will face Zeus and Poseidon, Amaterasu will face Apollo, Artoria will fight Artemis, and Mordred will fight Ares. Naruto told everyone his plan, shocking everyone. However, they all smiled at the plan. But what about the other gods? Tamamo asked Naruto, making him smile. We don't need to worry about them. If it was up to them, they would live among the humans and treat them like real people. Naruto told them, making them nod their heads at the plan. I hope you guys liked the story. If you did, click on any of the videos which are popping on the screen right now. I promise you'll love them too. If you like my videos, you can like and subscribe too. I'll see you on another amazing What If video, guys. Love you all, peace.